Mic check 1, 2. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I'm your host, Jerome Ortega. Today is Tuesday. Why did I think it was any other day? Tuesday, September 15th. How's it going, everyone? Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon to people in the US. Good morning, good evening to everyone else around the world. Nice to have you. Apple is what we're talking about today. We got no audio. Oh, actually, I was wondering about that. Was there audio in the intro? There wasn't, was there? I think I forgot to set that up. My bad. Anyway, as long as audio is good here, we'll be fine. So today, Apple held their, I think they called it Time Flies event. That was what they called it, named it, whatever. And today they announced a couple new products. I don't know. I'm not excited about them. I mean, I have thoughts on it and I want to discuss it. And it's the big event that happened today, but I wasn't like thrilled about it. I have a few thoughts concerning it, and I have questions that I need to ask chat because I don't know everything when it comes to Apple. Sorry, but we'll get into that. So before we start, let me go ahead. Let me say what's up to everybody in chat. By the way, thank you everybody for stopping by. Team Verizon says, I hope they bring back Touch ID on the iPhones. I mean, it's possible on iPad. Good afternoon, folks. What's going on, Team Verizon? So that was the very first thing that I thought about when I saw Touch ID being used or repurposed, repositioned on the new iPad was this is going to be coming on the phones, on the iPhone. Which iPhone? I don't know. I immediately thought they probably won't do it on the new iPhones, like the iPhone 12 or whatever, but I can see them doing it on the iPhone SE, because why have Touch ID on the front when they can give you a bigger screen? Because I think that's what they were rumored to do anyway, and then they'll put Touch ID there. But we'll get into that. I'll probably say the same thing later on anyway. Team Vari also says the Watch SE would make a great gift for my wife. Yeah, I have questions about that Watch SE. So like you can see, I'm not wearing. I have an Apple Watch. I have a Series 3 Apple Watch, and I like it, but I don't know. I kind of like my retro watch. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, this Apple Watch SE doesn't look bad, but I do have questions concerning it. And again, I don't know everything about it, so I'd love to get your feedback on it as well. Prayush is in the house. Low-key wanted the iPhone 12 today. I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people would have loved to see them announce the iPhone 12, but I think we all knew that most likely wasn't going to happen, and it didn't. Big House Productions is in the house as well. Hey everyone, what's going on, Big House? And just an FYI, I didn't watch the entire event. I worked out earlier today. I came back. I had a little time, so I kind of skimmed through the event. It had finished by the time I got home. So I did see some of it. I mean, it's what I expected. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Gandek is here as well. If the SE doesn't have always on display, I try to find a Series 5 deal instead. So that was actually one of my questions. Is the Apple Watch going to have always on display? Like I said, I have an Apple Watch Series 3 and I like it, but I don't love it. I think I loved it at first, and then after a while I was like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Keystone Tech is in the house. Bring me live with you in the chat. You mean you want to come on stream right now? Because if you want to do that, Keystone Tech, we got to set that up. Not today though, because I kind of have this already put together. So another day. just hit me up. I know I've been very busy, man. So like I haven't even like had time to really just get through everyone. But Keystone, welcome, man. Thanks for making it to the stream. William Maya says, I hear ya. Oh, audio wise. William, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you as well. DB Cooper is also in the house. I just downloaded iOS 14. Wait. I know that iOS 14, the official one was coming. Is it today or is it tomorrow? iOS 14. I thought it was tomorrow or the 17th or something. You guys will let me know. Prayush says, I feel you. Smartwatch is also not my thing, but the iPad Air looks good. So yeah, that's the thing too, is like I have never owned an iPad. Never owned an iPad. And then I saw the iPad Air and I was like, should I buy the iPad Air? we will get into all those stories. We're going to do it in order though. I want to read a couple articles so I can kind of learn what's going on as well. So we'll get into it. How many times am I going to say that already? Ted is in here. Ted, what's going on, man? Bring back the Touch ID on everything. I hate Face ID on the iPad Pro. Thank you for bringing that up, because I am not. Face ID is great. I think it works better than Face Unlock on my Pixel 4, but I wouldn't mind having Touch ID on everything. I've said this many times. Just put all of our options in. Put all of our options in there. Put Face ID, put Touch ID. Then we don't have to worry about what we like more or what we think is better, because everything will be on it instead. Deepak Murthy is in here. Hello. What's going on, Deepak? Nice to see you. So the Apple Watch SE won't support always on display. So that kind of like takes it out of contention for me, because I was looking at it. I was like, well, that seems like it's right up. It seems like it's just as good as the Apple Watch Series 6, but now that it's not having always on display, then yeah, I'm probably going to pass on that. Amin is in the building. Amin, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Hello. Javier is in here as well. That event was garbage. And now back to work. Javier, thank you for stopping by. I don't know if you're hanging out here, but thank you for your feedback. I didn't watch the entire thing. I'm not like, I like Apple stuff, but I'm not as excited as I am when it comes to Pixels. That's just me. I also wear my Google bias. So, Paul Hendricks, what's going on, man? I finally rooted my Poco F2. Congrats. So I'm listening, but reinstalling stuff takes some time. Well, Paul, thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Glad to hear you were able to root it. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. I'm assuming it probably wasn't. So welcome, Paul. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, Deepak says boring event. I didn't watch the whole thing. I kind of skimmed through, but I was just trying to get into the meat of it. Mario is in here as well. Mario, what's up? Hello, Jerome. How are you today? I'm good, Mario. How are you, man? Nice to have you here. Glad you could make it. Gandex says the Air looks good, but it's not worth the price without 120 hertz. You guys are answering all the questions that I had already. I feel like I can end this stream now. Sean is in here as well. Sean, what's going on? What up, Jerome in chat? What's going on, Sean? How you doing, man? Welcome. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get into these stories. Yeah, Deepak says the real Apple stuff will be coming on October. And that's something I'm going to be more excited about. I'm going to be more excited about the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Pro, and what that has to offer. But it seems like there are some snippets from this event that will translate over for the October event for the iPhone 12. But let's go ahead. Let's get started. I actually just have a bunch of articles from The Verge. Usually when there are events like these big ones and official, I'll usually go to The Verge for stuff because they're almost always on top of it. I don't have to worry about grammatical errors that I sometimes find on other tech sites that I read articles on. But let's go ahead and get into it and start with the Apple Watch Series 6. So I think one of the big takeaways on here is that the Apple Watch Series 6 is going to measure blood oxygen levels. I'm not a doctor. I do like fitness to a certain degree, but please, chat, somebody tell me, what is the benefit of measuring your blood oxygen levels? Why would I need to measure them now? I haven't been measuring them since birth. So, what benefit if I were to get the Apple Watch Series 6? If I came to you and said, "Hey, this Series 6 watch looks good and it measures blood oxygen or whatever. Why would I want that? What is that going to benefit for me? How does that improve my life knowing what those measurements say? Is it a life-saving thing? The one thing I noticed about that Apple Watch event, or at least right at the beginning, was like it made me feel like they were scaring you. They were using like fear tactics. To me, it made it feel like if you don't buy our watch, you are going to die. You're gonna die. Buy our watch or die. All right. So Apple announced that Apple Watch Series 6, the latest in its line of popular smartwatches. The Series 6 model maintains the same overall design, introduced with the Apple Watch Series 4, continued with the Series 5, but adds a variety of new sensors to allow for things like blood oxygen monitoring and better sleep tracking. So I do enjoy the fact that sleep tracking is now a thing that they've added in here. I mean, sleep tracking, I think you can do on the older Apple Watches as well, since they updated their Watch OS. I would probably use it once in a while, but I don't like wearing a watch when I go to sleep. I would maybe use it just to see how it does and like see how much sleep I actually got, but I find it very uncomfortable going to sleep with a watch on my wrist. I would rather not have this like constricting feeling around my wrist. I don't know, maybe I'm being over dramatic about it, but I would maybe use it, but I wouldn't use it every day. So Apple says the Series 6 can measure blood oxygen levels in about 15 seconds using both red and infrared light. The company says it's partnering with health networks to start large-scale studies, blah blah blah, including testing to see if it can detect a person if a person is infected with COVID-19. The Series 6 also comes with the new S6 processor, which promises up to 20% faster performance. It's based on the in-house A13 chip, brings the first major update to the Apple Watch performance since the Series 4, given that last year's Series 5 model used the same S4 CPU. I didn't realize that. Okay. So Apple says it provides this improved performance while maintaining the 18 hours of battery life of the prior model. The Series 6 can recharge faster, though going from 0 to full in about 1.5 hours. The always-on display is said to be 2.5 times brighter than the one on the Series 5. So I like that. At first, when I bought my Apple Watch Series 3, because I bought the older one. I bought it on sale because I was like, I don't need the Series 5. I don't need always-on display. But sure enough, as time like progressed and I wore the watch every day, I think part of me did weird things to make sure the display would like show up when I looked at it, because it didn't always show up. It did most of the time. But this watch, this Casio that I've had forever, I can always look at it and I don't have to like kind of shake my wrist or do something stupid to make sure the AOD or the display shows up. So to have something that has AOD is nice. The fact that it's also saying here it's going to be 2.5 times brighter is also nice. Nice to know. Don't know how that's going to affect battery, if it's going to make it worse, but it's saying here maintaining the 18 hours of battery life. So, all right. Another new sensor is the always-on altimeter, which provides real-time elevation information. Apple says it's accurate down to a foot of measurement. So I saw that during the whatchamacallit, the event when that lady was climbing that gigantic whatever it was, and I was like, damn, I would be scared to do that. But it was pretty cool to see like what elevation you're at. I don't know how often I'd use it, but for people that enjoy hiking, I don't. I live in Illinois. We live in flatlands. There's nowhere to hike here. Everything is flat. So I don't know how often I'd use it, but I feel like people who do go hiking and do enjoy things like that would find that beneficial. So uh, you'll be able to get the Series 6 in gray, silver, gold, or blue aluminum finishes, or a new product red. Not going to lie, I like the red color. In addition, Apple is announcing a new strap called the Solo Loop, and I saw that as well. So there's no like clasp or anything on it. It's made of silicone, or they have a braided version, and then they have a bunch of other versions as well. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know what kind of or what kind of I was like, I see Gandex said mountain. I was about to say mountain. I don't know how much prices are going to be for that kind of stuff. But the one thing about my Apple Watch Series 3 is after a while, I didn't like that silicone feel, however the hell you pronounce it, around my wrist. It felt, I don't know what it was. I also, yes, like I've lost weight recently, like a good amount of weight. And that strap, I've had to use the smaller strap on it. And with that strap, I'm in between the very last hole and then the one before that. And like, it just felt really uncomfortable. And I'm like, I'll just start wearing my, old Casio. Anyway, so I might try out one of those braided straps or whatever if I do decide to upgrade to the Series 6. So because the SE is not going to have always on display, I really don't think I'm going to be buying that, or at least even considering it. So the Series 6 will run Watch OS 7. And then it says here, all models dating back to Series 3 will get native sleep tracking support, but Series 6 will take that feature even further, thanks to dedicated sensors. So I don't know what that means, though. What is that? How is it going to take it a step further? What is it going to do when it comes to sleep that's going to make it differentiate itself from your Series 3, 4, 5? What other added features are they going to do with Watch OS 7 there for a Series 6 phone? So I saw this as well. Apple's debuting a new feature called Family Setup, which I guess is kind of cool if you have kids or whatever. It feels very invasive if you ask me, but you can pretty much buy a watch for like your kid, have them wear it, and then they can still go out and use it without owning an iPhone, but you control it. You control it from your own iPhone. So if you want to take invading your child's privacy to the next level, there you go. I know it has some benefits and I'm sure it would be fine, but like for me, I don't know. I don't have kids, so who am I to don't listen to me. I'm not here to give you children's advice. So it lets parents set up managed Apple Watches for their kids who don't have iPhones of their own. Parents can manage who the child can message or call from the watch, set up location alerts, add do not disturb modes for school time. A new watch face will inform teachers that the watch is in do not disturb mode from a glance, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, obviously it requires a cellular setup. And then they have something called Fitness Plus, a subscription service. The one thing that has been bothering me lately is 18 million subscription services for everything. That's why like I don't have any streaming services except Spotify. And I'm on a family plan where I pay like $2 something a month or $3 a month. Otherwise, no Netflix, no Hulu, none of this shit. No subscription services to Apple TV. I know that they did something called Apple One. Wait, I take that back. I do have Google One. So I have 100 gigabytes and I pay $20 a year. So I have that as a subscription service, and I have Spotify, family Spotify. That's it. So yeah, now they have another subscription thing called Fitness Plus, where I guess you can watch people work out. Says here virtual workout. I don't know what you can't You can't watch a YouTube video of someone working out and following them along. You have to subscribe to this service. I don't know. I didn't watch that part. I just skimmed through it. I was like, whatever. All right. I'm not. I'm being very judgy, and I know I don't have to be judgy. You know, if people want to like find ways to better themselves fitness wise, who am I to like? Yeah, you guys are listening to somebody who fasts 65 hours at a time, 90 hours at a time. So yeah, my advice is different than others. Anyway, the Series 6, let me get back into here so you can see it. The Series 6 will be available starting at $400 for the 40 millimeter model. What is the other one? The 44 millimeter? How much is that going to cost? And then how much is that going to cost with cellular? So I actually would rather have a cellular service. I don't even carry my iPhone anymore. Ever since I know this is crazy. It is so crazy how much in love I am with this phone. Is I don't even carry two phones anymore. I just carry my Pixel 4a every day. And for a while, I was carrying the Pixel 4a wearing it was when I had my Huawei P40 Pro Plus. I still have it, but I would carry that around. I wasn't carrying the iPhone, but I would carry the Apple Watch. And I'm like, well, this shit is not working anymore because it had GPS, and I didn't want to carry two phones while I go for like a 5-mile walk. Anyway, $400 for the 40 millimeter model. I'm assuming this is the GPS one. Yeah, cellular models start at $500. That's so expensive. So even seeing that, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to buy it because that's so expensive. The Series 6 is available to order starting today, and it'll start shipping on September 18th. As part of its efforts to reduce waste, we've talked about this before, but we'll get into it. Apple says it will not be including a USB power adapter in the box with the Series 6 watch, just the charging cable. And then they announced the Apple Watch SE as well. I talked about this before. I also liked how they segmented, like, yeah, we're going to go carbon neutral by 2853. 2030 or something like that. But and then they segued into like, yeah, we're also not going to give you that cable. And they were smart enough to use that environmental aspect, which I think is great. You will save waste, electronic waste, by not doing that. But I've said this before, Apple isn't doing it because they care about the environment. They're doing it because it saves them money. Like, let's be real. Maybe they care about the environment a little bit. I don't trust big companies. And usually when they say something, I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, we will get into the Apple Watch SE, but let me go ahead and just check chat here and make sure I didn't miss anyone and say hi to everybody. So let me scroll down. Sean says every flagship phone should have a 4K screen. $1,000 is the new standard. Deepak, yeah, that's right. They didn't talk about the AirTags. So maybe that'll be for the October event. There you go. Selwonk is in the house. iVerge. I've heard many people say similar things, that the Verge is very biased when it comes to Apple. I mean, I think I felt that way too. Every time the Verge would give a Pixel phone a lower score, I would rage. But that was also because I was very just like, Google can do no wrong. Google's the best. And I obviously don't feel that way anymore. A lot of that has kind of like, I'm a lot more unbiased, even though I am always rooting for the Pixel phone. Text me, please. What's going on, man? Apple makes everything look great at their events and show you the reasons you pay top dollar. But then you try Siri or Apple Maps, and then you say, oh, come on. I mean, to be fair, tech to me, please. They still make a good quality piece of hardware, and their software is, yes, Apple Maps, yes, Siri, I'd pass on those, but for the most part, they do a pretty good job. So I got to give him that at least. Anyway, tech to me, please. Welcome to the stream. Gandex says, I thought the Series 5 could already do that. All these medical stuff are not my field of expertise. Yeah, Sean also says Verge equals Apple's Johnson masseuse. I don't even know what that frame of reference is about. I'm just gonna leave that there. Ted says blood oxygen can detect apoxia. It's useful when you're in very high altitudes. Well, that's good to know. So what you're saying is because I live in Illinois and I live in flatlands and I don't have mountains here that I don't need to really worry much about my blood oxygen. Is that what you're saying, Ted? Team Verizon says, I use a Fitbit every day to monitor my heart rate. I can definitely imagine using an Apple Watch frequently. So that's the one thing I actually enjoyed about my Apple Watch Series 3 is it did track my heart rate. And it was a good way to see where my fitness level was as I was actually losing weight. And even my resting heart rate. Like my resting heart rate, I think was in the, like, it averages in the like low to mid 50s, which is great because let's be real, guys. If any of you forgot, I used to weigh 220. I used to weigh a lot more and my health wasn't the best and I'm in a lot better shape now. So, that was a good way to measure. Anyway, Gandex says you also have to charge your watch overnight. Yeah. I don't know what that stands for. Are you talking about because monitoring your sleep and then having to charge it? But yeah, I hear you, man. Sean says Apple might as well be injecting with a chip to control them like zombies and know their health. Oh, Sean doesn't seem very happy with with Apple. Gandex saying think. Most people don't sleep with it on. Yeah, I don't see myself really sleeping with a watch. I tried. I used to have a Fitbit and I used to sleep with that to track my sleep as well, but it does get annoying after a while. Michael Osborne, how's it going, man? Michael, welcome to the stream. It's an oximeter in a watch, and low oxygen level is a major COVID-19 symptom. There you go. Good to know. So when they show that blood oxygen thing, I think from when I watched it, they had two people test it, and one showed 95% blood oxygen level, one showed 96%. What is a bad percentage? Is it something under 90%? Is it something lower than that? When is it a sign where it's like, hey, like this is not safe at all? Deepak says COVID-19 can cause low oxygen levels, so over 92%. Oh, well, you just answered my question. Thank you, Deepak. Means you are healthy. Thank you for sharing that. There you go. Sean is saying people might as well inject with a chip to control their customers like zombies and know their health. My oxygen levels are great because because I barely go outside. Sean, I don't know if it works that way. Tim Schumann is in the house. Tim, how's it going, man? I'm here to avoid doing work I know I should be doing. Thank you for providing this valuable public service, Jerome. Is it that valuable, me giving you guys my opinion and reading the articles on The Verge? No, I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the stream. Gandex says, I love mountain climbing. Elevation feature is... Yeah, I don't have any. There are no mountains here at all. So we have hills sometimes, but you got to go looking for them. Raf B. Raf, what's going on, man? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, man. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Ted says the Solo Loop is Apple coming after the third-party strap manufacturers. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Although I'm sure third parties will always have a cheaper deal, but you know, people will still buy an Apple product because it's an Apple product. Tony Pazzo, this is becoming very common, Tony. Someone say Apple. What's going on, Tony? Welcome to the stream. Zane Beg is in here. The new Apple Watch won't ship with a wall charger. Yeah. Yep. Because the environment, Zane. Didn't you realize Apple cares so much about the environment that they're not going to include it anymore? Does that mean that they're also going to drop the price because they're not including it? Nope. But they're doing it because they care about the environment. Didn't you know? Apple didn't create Apple because they wanted to make money. Apple is Apple because they care about the environment. Google too. All these big companies that make billions of dollars that are trillion-dollar companies, they're not doing it for money, guys. They're doing it because they care about the environment. Let's get that straight. Ted says if Apple gives the watch the feature for parents to turn on the watches, Mike, so parents can listen in, that would be clutch. No, no, that's completely invasive. That's so. I know I'm not a parent, and I know I don't have kids, but I feel like that's too much. Do you guys remember that episode of? God damn it, what's that show? That's when I used to have Netflix. The one that's like a spinoff or like a reiteration or re-evolution of the Twilight Zone. What the hell is that show called? But it was that one episode where the mom put that chip inside her daughter and could like see and know where she was, and that just like completely went bonkers. That's what I think of. It's like you gotta let a kid be a kid, and sometimes kids do. I don't know. Again, don't listen to me. I'm not a. I was thinking of that episode. Junior Aziz is in the house. Guess no iPhones for now. Nope. Happy for Google. I was worried a surprise iPhone launch would have troubled Pixel 5 sales. I'm sure it would have. I'm sure it would have affected Pixel 5 sales for sure if Apple went ahead and at least even mentioned their iPhone 12 or the price or whatever, but I could see that. Gandex says, yeah, because of, quote, environmental reasons, if people have extra chargers, there's a drawer for that. Come on, guys. I have never heard of people throwing away brand new chargers. Yeah, I've never. It's funny that you say that because like over there, I have a it's actually my kitchen is over there, and I have one shelf completely dedicated to a bag of chargers, wall chargers, cables, and I think that's it. Oh, and cat cables, Ethernet cables. Even though I don't need them all, they're there because I can't even like, I don't know, see myself throwing them away. Ted says Apple won. New ways for Apple to make money so bad. I agree. Amin says, isn't the Series 6 the same launch price as the Series 5 and they still remove the accessories? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Deepak Murthy says, two birds with one stone is the Apple environmental logic. I mean, it is. They've taken, that is the way that you, is somebody spamming? I'm like looking at my phone. All right, here we go. So I don't know, like, I'm not even going to read that comment, but I did put you on timeout, which also reminds me that I probably need to get another moderator. So if any of you are interested in being a moderator who is in here regularly, please let me know. Like usually, Brian is here, but Brian works on Tuesdays and Thursdays since he's gotten back to work since COVID. So yeah, if any of you are new here and you want to decide to like spam my chat, like I'll put you in timeout like a little boy. I think that was a guy. I guess I shouldn't as a whatever person. But please do not spam in here because like I won't even give you the time of day. Like I'm not gonna like no, I don't want to deal with that. Like we're adults here. Please, we don't need to be like the only person that can act like a child here is me. I think he was asking a question about a phone or a watch or whatever, but like I'm not even going to entertain that. Not if you're going to be spamming that way. Please don't. And like it's unfortunate because I'm very good about responding to the people in here. So anyway, if you do, once you do get out of timeout, like you can ask the question properly, like a normal person. And if you decide to spam again, then I will ban your ass easily, block your ass, ban it, both, block ban. Fear the Roof 42, how's it going, man? Hey there, Jerome. It's an Apple day. How is Pixel Jerome coping? I'm coping fine. I'm trying very hard not to talk about my Pixel, but I already did earlier. We're here if you need someone to lean on. I know. I really feel like I could just completely turn this channel into nothing but pixels. I could just sit here and talk about pixels all day and then compare the Pixel to every phone that ever comes out in the market. All right. Paul says 95%, you're going to die for a blood oxygen level. Is that what you mean? Jersey Dre Bear 85, what's going on? We don't have mountains, but Chicago potholes are just as mesmerizing to see. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The one thing I avoid a lot, or the one thing I look for all the time, are goddamn potholes, especially when I'm riding my bike or I'm on my scooter or I ride one of those bird scooters. I feel like it's just a matter of time before a pothole will be the demise of me. Like I'm going to take a bad spill because of it. But yeah. Super chat. Bert with another $5 super chat. Jesus, Bert, you've been so supportive lately. Bert, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support, man. I'm not an Apple fan, but Google should learn from Apple how to do a product presentation. Bert, I could not agree more. If there is one thing I think that any company can learn from, it's usually Apple and how they do their events, how they present things. I think a lot of people hate because they just want to hate, but yeah, like the presentation still wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't think it was the most exciting thing to watch, but they do a good job at putting things together. So, Bert, I completely agree though. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Bert. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for helping offset costs and encouraging me to keep doing what I'm doing. I do appreciate it. So thank you. Okay, guys, let me scroll down here. Black Mirror. That's what the show is called. Yeah, do you guys not remember that episode? There you go. Gandex says the episode is called Archangel. Yeah, the mom puts a chip in the daughter, aka using the Apple Watch. So this is the exact same thing. This is just the Apple Watch instead of putting a chip in you. Because imagine you're 15 years old and your mom is doing that shit to you. Like you got to wear that watch so she can see where you're at and what you're doing and turn on your mic. But like, imagine you're that teenager and then you take that watch off. Will it let the parent also know that you're no longer using that watch? I feel like it's too much. Me personally, my opinion, I feel like it's too much. I feel like it's too invasive. Anyway, okay, so let me see here. You guys are volunteering for moderators. You know what? I'll get in touch with you guys. So, okay. Zane says the only reason Apple gets away with this crap is because people still buy their crap. This is how the headphone jack died on flagships and now maybe wall chargers, SMH. You're not wrong. The way I feel about it is, so someone like me who has 18 million phones, I completely understand removing it because I already have so many of them. But I can also understand for people who don't have it or who don't buy phones that often that they need one. The real solution here is if you want to remove it, lower the price of the phone and say, hey, we've been able to save money because we don't have to include this stuff. So we're going to take away $5-10, whatever. And then you can use that money to go ahead and buy one if you need one. But you know they're not going to do that because they don't care, because they are looking at the bottom line, which is how much money they're making or can make or whatever out of it. Anyway, it is a good point though, Zane. Okay. What? Team Variety? Jerome at Gat went on a scooter. I am sure you meant to say something else. Jennifer Cho. I said your name right. Jennifer, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Not an Apple fan, but I wish Google could take some pointers from Apple on how to market the Pixels. Yes, exactly, guys. Completely agree. I'm looking forward to the Pixel event. I mean, I'm going to be doing it live. So if you guys happen to chime in or come in like you guys should like watch it with me, talk in chat. Although chat will be like it's going to be off a bit. There's like a 20-30 second delay, but it'll be fun. Tech to Me Please says, convincing friends to go Pixel. The reasoning is that Apple equals simple, Google Pixel equals Android equals complicated. I tell them that not all Androids are the same. Tech to Me Please, you're preaching to the choir, but at this point in my life, I've realized that I can't convince anyone. For me, I just have my opinion on it. I prefer Android over iOS. I think the Pixels are the best phones that you can buy because of vanilla Android. But I also can't argue with the fact that an iPhone is simple and it's good hardware and it has good support. It is pricey, but a lot of people keep their phones for 4 years, 5 years. And I think at that point, you've kind of made your money's worth out of it. So anyway, we should move on because it's 43 minutes and I only went through one story. So I'm going to go through this real quick. This is an article from Macworld that says 6 ways the new Apple Watch Series 6 is a bigger upgrade than you think. I haven't read this article, so I want to really understand what makes these 6 points. It's a clickbait title, guys. It's a clickbait title, but let's see if these 6 things are actually bigger reasons than we think. So the blood O2 sensor is better than it is on Fitbits. Is that true? As rumored, the Apple Watch Series 6 can measure the oxygen levels in your blood. Unlike Fitbit devices, which measure your blood oxygen levels while you sleep, you can take a blood O2 reading in just 15 seconds at any time of day. All right, so I guess that's something that I had no idea. I didn't realize that Fitbits only do it when you sleep. The display is better than ever. And now the construction's happening again on the roof. Sorry. So Apple says AOD on the Series 6 is 2.5 times brighter, which I think is a great plus. With a new efficient S6 chip, the battery life won't suffer. So there you go. You kind of don't need an iPhone to use it. So that's that family whatever thing. Is this another reason? This is not one of the 6. This is an awful reason for it. We've talked about the family, whatever it's called. And you still need an iPhone regardless. You still need an iPhone to use it. So that's not, no. The new faces appear very useful. These are the reasons. This is such a clickbait article. Apple always offers up some new faces with every watch launch, but this year's crop isn't just about cartoon characters and colors. I mean, I guess that's a fair point. It seems like it has more here. GMT, which displays multiple time zones with a focus on where you are. Chronograph Pro adds a series of digital dials, including a tachometer for measuring speed. Typograph, which brings 4 new type styles and scripts. Stripes, which lets you add any color combination. Memoji faces. I don't know. I still think that's not a valid reason. Like, it's not that much better than I thought because it adds that to it. And am I not wrong? Like, aren't the other Apple Watch series, like the previous ones, they're going to get that as well? Are they not? Or am I wrong there? Okay. The watch is vital to Apple's new service. So this is not a reason either. I'm not even going to. There are actual colors now. The new bands are very cool. You don't have to pay for it up front. A 12-year-old could write this. I'm sorry. Yes, the first couple reasons here make sense, and then the rest of it is like, no, now you're just clickbaiting me. And I got clickbaited. So let's move on. The Apple Watch SE. I'm going to skim through this. I'm not really going to go through this as much. This was the watch that I was considering getting since I have a Series 3, but because the Apple Watch SE isn't going to have an always-on display, I'm going to pass. Is anybody thinking about an Apple Watch SE? I mean, it's a good price, right? $279, I think. Yeah. Starts at $279. Cellular models start at $329. So it takes a lot of the features from the Series 6, including the built-in accelerometer, gyroscope, always-on altimeter, as well as sleep tracking, fall detection, hand washing detection, blah, blah, blah. There's no always-on display. I'm guessing here there's no ECG functionality. Yeah, or the blood oxygen monitor that's coming to the Series 6. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'm not even really going to go through that. So I think the Apple Watch SE is going to be good for somebody who maybe has the very first iteration of the Apple Watch, or maybe the third. I don't know. I still don't think I don't think this is a good enough reason to go from a Series 3 to a Apple Watch SE. This might be for somebody who has maybe the very first gen, or who has never owned an Apple Watch before. That's probably a good way to get into it. But for me, who's owned an Apple Watch Series 3 now for, I think, over half a year, I really want an always-on display. I think most people don't care, maybe, but for me, it would be nice to not like do this weird thing on my wrist to make sure that it shows me the display. Anyway, $279 I feel like is a good deal. And honestly, the Apple Watch, my Series 3, does a lot of things that surprised me. I didn't realize it had a ton of features, a ton of usability that I really didn't expect. So if you don't own a smartwatch and you were thinking of one, I still think it's a good buy, but maybe the Series 3 is even going to be cheaper now. Maybe you could find that for an even better deal. I got mine. I got the 42 millimeter one, the bigger one. And I think I got that for $229. And I think the 38 millimeter was selling for $199, and that might even be cheaper. I don't know. I don't know what the big difference is between this Apple Watch SE and the Series 3, especially if you can get the Series 3 brand new for $199 versus $279 here. I guess I could do my homework on it, but I'm not that invested. So yeah, I even pulled this up because I was trying to look at the differences between, well, God damn it, the Series 6 and the SE. I was really just looking for the always on display, but I'm not going to get into that now. So let me go ahead. Let me get back into chat, and then we're going to talk about the iPad Air. So let me see here. Oh, Ruben's here. Ruben, what's going on, man? What up, everyone? I understand Google learning from Apple, but I personally like when Google was fun and did things differently, like when they did their live event with Google Glass. That's a great point too. And I'm not saying that Google does everything wrong when it comes to their presentations. I think it could just use a little more polish. Maybe that's the way I can put it. But yeah, you're not wrong, Ruben. I agree with that as well. Welcome though. Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. Evil Skills is in here. Evil Skills. Have you been in here before? I don't know if you have. Apple is selling old technology at a high price with no progress, just a nice presentation. The blood sensor is on the Huawei GT2. I mean, like, so this is an argument that a lot of people use, and I get it. They'll say, well, this phone had it first, or this had it first, or whatever. But I don't know anything about the Huawei GT2. I don't know how good the implementation is on it when it comes to detecting blood oxygen levels or whatever. You're not wrong though. A lot of other companies, we know this. We say this all the time. A lot of other companies will do things before Apple does it, and then Apple implements it into their product. The difference is sometimes Apple will do it in a way where it's very polished, and it doesn't have to be like, they usually will get that interpretation right the first time. Not always, but a lot of times they do that right. I have to give them that. Evil Skill says they put 6 gigs of RAM on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and 64 gigs is the smallest. Yeah, so that's definitely annoying, the internal storage, and it's also very, very pricey. As far as the RAM goes, I don't worry too much about that, especially when they have the fastest chipset in the market, faster than any Android phone that's out there. So again, like we can cherry pick stuff, but like the truth is like they still have the fastest chipset when it comes to a lot of that. Okay, so let me see here. Gandex says not necessarily old, but I feel like they constantly hold off on giving us better hardware. Yeah, that's how they make their money. That's how they make a lot of their money. Gandex says this is the no clickbait zone. Well, I got clickbaited, so it happens. Let me see here. Gandex says, for those who don't know, you can't really compare RAM performance on iOS versus Android. There you go. Storage tier is still low, but Pixel wasn't great either with the 4. So thank you for pointing that out, Gandex. I mean, yeah, like let's just be real about how a lot of that is. Sorry, my phone just went off. I am going to put that on. There you go. Do not disturb. Michael says Google Pixel lines have been good from day one, but Google needs to design its own silicon. Well, hopefully for the Pixel 6, which is 2021, right? 2021. I don't know, Michael. Like, yeah, the Pixel lines have been good. I don't think they've been great. I haven't always agreed with the price, and I really question their quality control, their build quality. No, not their build quality. I mean, that's questionable too, but their quality control. They have room for improvement. Let's put it that way. I love Pixel phones. They're my favorite. My 4A is like the best phone that I've used in a long time, especially considering its price. But they do have room for improvement. Yeah, that's what Evil Skill says too with iOS. It's a great platform, but needs some improvements. I agree. Okay, let's see here. Michael Osborne says, if Google can get such good Pixel battery optimization with off-the-shelf chips, what could they do with in-house made by Google silicon? I guess we'll find out. We'll find out next year. William Maya says, don't mind that Apple comes late to the game with tech implementation. It's just rough when I talk to someone and they think an Apple feature is absolutely new tech. That's something that gets to me too. But you know what? That's the tech in the tech community. We know this stuff a lot more than anybody else. And Apple obviously markets it in such a way where they let the masses know that they've done something, and it makes it sound like that they were the first to do it. It's been the case for years and years and years. Jeffrey Molina, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. I'm still waiting for a collaboration from Google and Fitbit with their new watch. Yeah, I'm waiting for that too. The Pixel Watch. When is that going to happen? I have no idea. Everyone's been asking for it for a while. I'm waiting to see it. I think a lot of people are. I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe for the Pixel 6, they'll have the Pixel Watch with a collab from Fitbit. Fear the Roof 42 says, I'm eating an apple while you talk about Apple. Spooky. Is it? I mean, Jeffrey Molina says, for my Pixel 4. Yeah, I mean, I don't, for sure it's not coming out for the Pixel 5. There's going to be no Pixel Watch then. Maybe the Pixel 6, maybe for 2021. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and move on real quick. If you guys haven't had a chance, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Hitting that thumbs up button helps me algorithmically. It's just a way to support. Also, if you are new and you do not know, I stream weekdays at 2 p.m. Central every weekday. So if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. This is a very marketing thing that I hate doing, but I do it because it helps. It's also a way for people to support the channel. So if you haven't had a chance, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I would market my membership thing, but I will do that later. So let's go ahead and let's move on and let's talk about the iPad. So in today's event, they talked about, I think, the entry-level iPad. And I was like, entry level, I don't really. And then they talked about the iPad Air. And I was like, okay, this is different. Completely, like, didn't expect this. So Apple announces the new iPad Air that looks more like an iPad Pro starting at $600. Comes in a bunch of different colors. This design aesthetic, I think, it foreshadows what the iPhone 12 is going to look like. You see, the kind of flat design and the rounded corners. And I think of the iPhone 12 and how this will probably be what the iPhone 12 is going to look like. At least that's my assumption. So I put the wrong screen there. There we go. Let me make this text bigger. So Apple's unveiling a new iPad Air today that looks very similar to the company's iPad Pro. It's a significant design change from the current Air, which was brought back to life last year to sit in between the iPad and iPad Pro. Last year's Air has thick top and bottom bezels and a button for Touch ID, but this new iPad Air has much thinner bezels all around the display. It looks like a refresh of the iPad Pro design. It'll be available next month, priced from $600. So it uses a bigger 10.9-inch liquid retina display, fully laminated with True Tone support, anti-reflective coating. Apple moved the Touch ID fingerprint sensor to the power button at the top. So it's up here now. There's no more button down here, which is great. And like I said earlier, I think seeing that happen during the live event made me automatically think this is something that they're going to include in the upcoming iPhone. Maybe not the iPhone 12, because they're still going to use Face ID. Like, in my honest opinion, the best way to do it would be to just combine and put Face ID and Touch ID together, but I'm sure Apple's not going to do that. They could surprise me though. But I could see this implementation happening in the next iteration of the iPhone SE, whatever that iteration is going to be. I think, yes, Touch ID is great, but it needed to get moved. They probably weren't going to put it in the rear because maybe they didn't want to do it a la Pixel style. But to see this happen on the iPad Pro or the iPad Air and have them put it on the top button here makes me think that for the new iPhone, not the new, but like the iPhone SE, they'll probably put it on the side here. I guess that's what I'm thinking is how they're going to do it. So let's read on though. Didn't mean to click that. So different colors. Inside the new iPad Air, Apple is, making some big changes to the chips. So it's going to be powered by the new A14 Bionic chip, promising a 40% performance improvement over the last iPad Air, improved graphic support thanks to a new 4-core GPU. Apple says it's the most advanced chip it's ever made, even includes specific machine learning accelerators that apps will be able to use. Apple demonstrated a variety of apps during its press event today, promising that app developers will be able to take advantage of the power of this new chip for their apps. Great. So they're also switching to USB-C on the iPad Air, much like the iPad Pro. It'll support 20-watt charging and 5 gigabit per second data transfers. Wi-Fi 6 is also included. Optional LTE models will be available, with Apple promising 60% faster LTE connectivity. So that's a new thing too, is USB-C. Does that mean that they're going to put USB-C on the new iPhones? I don't think so. I still think the reason they're using USB-C on the iPads and not the iPhones is because of, I think, the integration for Mac use or PC use. I think that's why they're doing it. I don't think that they're going to be putting USB-C on iPhones because they would lose money that way, because then they can't keep selling their Lightning connectors and chargers or whatever. I could be wrong. I would love to see the transition of the Lightning port to USB-C, but I've said this before. I think Apple will go portless before they do USB-C on their iPhones. All right. So on the camera side, Apple is borrowing the 12 megapixel from the iPad Pro, upgrading it with improved video stabilization on the air. A front-facing 7-megapixel FaceTime HD camera is included with Smart HDR and support for 1080p 60 frames per second video capture. This latest iPad Air will also support the new pencil. The Magic Keyboard will also attach to this iPad Air. And it'll also support the $179 Smart Keyboard Folio and $79, whatever. Bunch of extra accessory shit. So clearly refresh the iPad Air to bring most of the iPad Pro features to a more affordable price point. So it still lacks the high refresh 120 hertz display found on the iPad Pro, Face ID support, and its new LiDAR camera. So it's still missing a good amount of things. If these are all things you can live without, then the iPad Air looks like a solid alternative. And then again, it'll be priced at $600. I didn't realize it was missing a bunch of that stuff. So no Face ID, no LiDAR part for the camera. And what else was it? No 120 hertz display, which I think a lot of people would be hoping for if they were going to get a cheaper price for an iPad. I still don't have a reason to own an iPad. I still don't. For me, I have a custom built PC. That's my gaming PC. That's my video editing rig. And I don't really have a use for an iPad. I have a MacBook Pro that I'll use occasionally when I need to get out of the house and go to a coffee shop or something and do some work. But COVID, so I'm just stuck at home all day, every day. I think, though, it's a good upgrade. And I think this is the beginning of the end of Touch ID on the front of the display. I can almost guarantee you that the next iteration of the iPhone SE will not have Touch ID on the front. It'll be now on the power button or top. Well, it won't be on the top button. That's the iPad. But it'll be on the power button, probably on the side for the next iPhone SE. In a fantasy world, in a world where everything was perfect, the new iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro would also have Touch ID on the power button on the side, but they're not going to do that. It'll have Face ID and only Face ID, I'm sure. So that's it for those. iPad Air, Apple Watch Series 6, Apple Watch SE. The event was fine. It wasn't exciting. I didn't think it was exciting, but I also don't get excited for Apple products as much as I do for Pixel products. I don't get very excited with Samsung events. Honestly, not even OnePlus events lately. But yeah, that's it. Ruben, I have $1 super chat from Brian. Brian, welcome, man. Nice of you to make it. Appreciate you stopping by. Brian, what's going on, man? Brian with the $1 super chat, as always supporting. Brian has been a huge supporter from, I think almost the beginning. So Brian, thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the $1 support. Thank you for your continued streak of super chats. Always appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. I know you're at work today, so I know it's busy on your end. But thank you again. Let me go ahead and scroll up here. Scrolling down. Real tip says Germany is bad. Okay. Why are they bad? Real tip. Welcome to the stream. Naked Giraffe is in here. Naked Giraffe, have we talked before? I don't think we have. If we haven't, welcome. How's it going, man? Will the iPad Air have a student discount, or do you think it'll expire? I'm the wrong person to ask. I have no idea. I don't even know how those student discounts work. But if anyone in chat can help Naked Giraffe out about if the iPad Air will have a student discount, please let him know. That is not something that I have been in touch with since I stopped going to school. So I'm not sure. Ruben says, wouldn't it be cool if Apple made the logo on the back of the iPhone a fingerprint sensor? Yes. That, you know what? Like remember I was talking about the Moto X Pure not too long ago. But like the one thing I liked about that Moto X Pure is it had like a dimple on the back, kind of just like how my Pixel 4a is. The Moto X Pure, that would have been a perfect place for a rear fingerprint reader in that little dimple where the Motorola logo was. But yeah, I agree. That would be great. I still think that's the best placement for a fingerprint reader. Not on the side, not on the top, but put it in the rear. That's what she said. That's inappropriate, Jerome. Jay Mill is in the house. What's good, Rome and everyone? What's going on, Jay Mill? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Amin says the iPad Air looks cool, but I miss my Nexus 7. I had a Nexus 7. I think that was when I realized that I didn't need a tablet. When I was like, this Nexus 7 is just like my Nexus phone. Anyway, I don't know if I miss mine, but I do miss the Nexus lineup just in general. Really quick, guys, before I kind of close things off here, if you haven't had a chance or if you haven't noticed, people in the stream have green. Some people in the stream have green in their name. They have a red Chicago star next to their name, and that is because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam, and you could be one too. For as little as 99 cents a month, all you got to do is click that join button. You'll get the red Chicago star next to your name. You'll get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name in every single one of my intros and outros of my live streams. Again, you could do that for as little as 99 cents a month by clicking that join button. And if you can't find that join button, you can go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. Otherwise, that is it when it comes to my marketing spiel. It is just a way to support. I understand that times are tough. I understand that you might not have the money to do that. So if you don't, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It's free. And don't you want to support your neighborhood tech guy who doesn't really know everything about tech and always asks chat for help? No, guys, I appreciate it as always. It means a lot to me either way. So thank you for the support, regardless. Okay, what else? Chat. Let me check chat. What's going on with chat? J Mill says, wait, where am I at here? J Mill says, no one's going to buy the iPad Air anymore. But why? I mean, you don't think people are going to buy this iPad Air? I mean, I don't know. I don't know the price wise. Like, I don't keep track on how much tablets cost or if they're worth it or whatever. But I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Team Verizon says, Jerome, I think the new Motos have fingerprint scanners on the M logo at the back. That's nice. It's nice to see Motorola doing something I approve of. Let's just get them to stop making 18,000 phones and have one phone that, like, you know, those days I think are gone. Oh, Jay Mill says iPad Pro. Yeah, but like Jay Mill, didn't you see? It doesn't have the 120 hertz display. It doesn't have Face ID. It doesn't have the LiDAR camera, but maybe people don't care about that. But yeah, I could see that kind of like cannibalizing itself as well. So let me see here. Ruben says, yeah, he misses his Nexus 7. Oskin is in here. Hi, dude. What's going on, Oskin? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. I missed yesterday, bro. That's all good. Did you watch the replay? I guess you're going to be missing it today, too, because I am about to call it a day. But Oskin, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you being in the chat. So, guys, with that being said, I think that is going to be it as I try to set things up here. I will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, right here. We will do it all over again. It won't be an Apple day. We'll talk about other things. Maybe we'll talk about the Pixel. Maybe we'll talk about the Pixel 4a. Maybe we'll talk about the Pixel 5 or the 4a 5G, but we'll see. Just depends on what is going on when it comes to tech news. So with that being said, guys, I am out of here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for supporting. Thank you to all my patrons, all my YouTube members, and people who super chatted today. Thank you guys so much for the support. I will see you tomorrow. Come back again, 2 p.m. Central. I am playing the outro music as I wave by and transition out. Guys, oh, I didn't share the screen. So now I messed it up. Now I'm sharing the screen. Guys, have a good one. See you tomorrow. Bye.